You can deliver a paid product or service through an email, and that can be completely automated. So I want to give you a few different ways that you can utilize email marketing. So write these down. You can utilize email marketing to onboard clients, customers, patients, whatever, however it's pertained to your business. So onboarding is one. You can use email marketing to send reminders. If you are hosting events, as soon as somebody signs up for an event, you need to immediately welcome them and send them reminders leading up to the event day. People forget. Same thing with online webinars. Same things with courses. If somebody receives a product or service from you, remind them that they have it. We often forget that we even have things. So onboarding, reminders. You can use email marketing for scheduling. If somebody schedules a call with you, you're reminding them maybe 2 hours before the call, 1 hour before the call, also reminding them they can reschedule the call up until what point. So they're getting those reminders. If you're having a Zoom call, you need to send them the Zoom link prior to the Zoom call so they have it and no one's scurrying at the last minute to figure out what that is. So onboarding, reminders, scheduling. You can also use email marketing for trainings. Again, training your team, training your clients, customers, training your influencers or affiliates. If you do have people you're connected to in partnerships and they're going to be promoting your products or your services, they should know how best to promote your products or services. So they should have a script already created for them. You can send that to them via email and give them instruction on how you want them to promote your products or services. So onboarding, reminders, scheduling, training. One more that's really big is redirects. So we all know our audiences better than anybody else. Maybe they don't use email very much, but that's how you're capturing them as a subscriber. That's how you're holding them. That's your real estate because no one can take your email list away from you. But maybe your hub, where you hang out most of the time, where you interact most of the time is in a Facebook group or on Facebook. You can still use your email marketing to welcome them and redirect them over to a Facebook group or a Facebook page or Instagram, wherever your hub is. And you can check back in with them periodically on email to remind them that there's conversation going on somewhere else. So I think those are just important for you to understand the different ways that you can use email. What I have here in front of you is a way that you can make money with email and make money fast. Figured that would be a fun way to kind of introduce the beauty of email marketing. But also remember, if you don't, if you don't have an email marketing service provider right now, you can still use this manually and put it into Gmail or whatever email you're using. But you can also take this content in this template and you can distribute it as a video on any video platform. You can distribute it as a text message to enroll people. You can distribute it across social media on Instagram or Facebook. It doesn't have to be an email marketing template. That's just how it's going to be laid out for you today, okay? So the first slide here is just content that I want you to be able to fill into the templates as you go through them. And we've touched on every single bullet point here already. So whatever it is that you're selling, again, you can be selling a call with you. You don't have to be selling a paid product. So you can use this template to sell people, enroll them to get on the phone with you. Once you're on the phone with them, that's when you sell them the product or service. Depending on the price, we usually say $1,000 or more. You need to talk to somebody in order to enroll them into it. $1,000 or less, you can likely sell them directly from a checkout link page through your email sequence. So I want you to think about a product or service that you want to sell, or think about what you want to do. What's the next step that you want your audience to take in order to get closer to enrolling in something with you? What is the outcome? What are the future outcomes of what could happen if they continued down the path that they were on? So if they never met you, if they never took that next step that you want them to take, what could potentially happen to them? think about that and how it relates to your own business. If we didn't come to Forbes Factor, what kind of road could we have gone down if we didn't come here for the past 5 days? How messed up was our mind previously? We may not have even known it, but now we're going and we're digging ourselves a deeper hole. What are those negative outcomes that could potentially happen to your potential customer if they do not work with you? You need to know that. You also need to know what are the positive outcomes now that they should expect to experience if they do work with you. You can relate this to yourself, again, with our experience with Forbes. How different are our lives now because of what we just experienced for the past 5 days? The third bullet point says, give a time frame. So on average, and if you have never worked with a client before, take a guess. You can always change this. How long will it take for that person from the moment they meet you to the moment they experience that positive outcome at the end of your partnership? What is the time frame? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 30 days? Is it 2 hours? Do they only need to get on a call with you for 2 hours and they've experienced that positive outcome? What is that for you? And then what are their pain points or their frustrations that your offer provides a solution for? Right? So that's the next bullet point, the things your offer overcomes. So you want to think about their pain points, their frustrations, and how your content is going to rid them from those pain points and frustrations. And the last bullet point is, what is the big transformation that they get from your product or service? When we were selling Forbes's radio podcast interview, we were listing out the benefits of the deliverables, the benefits of getting on a podcast for exposure, for visibility, the benefits of getting into a magazine, getting that press release. But take it one step further. What's the big transformation for the person who gets all of that? Now their I don't know, DVD that they were promoting or their book that they just released is now out to 1.4 million people who can now talk about it, share with their audience, and you're reaching a larger and larger audience through that. So the big transformation that happens for them after they complete your offer, your program, your service. That's the content. That's everything that you need to know, and you can shift your answers to each one of those bullet points for different offers, for different services, for different email marketing templates. But this is a simple 3-day email template that you can send out 24 hours after each. So we've seen the most success, I'll tell you, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So email 1 goes out on a Friday, email 2 goes out on a Saturday, email 3 goes out on a Sunday. And I'm going to guess it's because you're receiving email after email after email in your promotions, in your social, in your inbox during the week, that it's kind of saturated. So on a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when you're hit with something that's valuable, that lists all of these bullet points that we just went over, people are more enticed to open it up and read it when they're kind of sitting around not doing too much. So I'm going to go to the next slide, which is I'm just going to now go over each of the emails that you have in that template that I sent you. And this can be shifted, the language can be changed, the messaging can be targeted to your audience. This template has worked over and over and over again for our clients in different industries. I work with doctors, I work with naturopathic doctors, dietitians, a lot of people in the health and wellness space, but also people who are doing business to business, business consulting, book publishers. So it works across the board. All you're doing is filling in the blanks. So we have several blanks here in the email template. You're just taking your answers from this first page here, that content, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points, and you're plugging them into the template. How easy is that?
Cool.
Right?
That's pretty amazing.
So I can read it. And the subject lines are really important with email marketing, because if you're looking for a point of disconnect in your funnel, let's say Michaela builds your ClickFunnels, and the ClickFunnel is incredible, right? Somebody clicks every single button in your ClickFunnel and gets to your email marketing, but nobody's opening your email. It has nothing to do with Michaela's ClickFunnel. It has nothing to do with the content that you're offering. McKenna, sorry. I know. It has nothing to do with the content, your offer. We immediately tell ourselves internally that, like, we're not worth it. Nobody wants to work with us. Everything's wrong. The whole thing didn't work. It has everything to do with the subject in that email. They didn't open the email because the subject line was not enticing enough.
What makes it enticing?
So questions make it enticing. If it's funny, people will typically open it. You have to, it's really a trial and error process. Sometimes just writing hey in lowercase, like think about what kind of an email subject line you would use if you were sending an email to your mom, your friend, a colleague that you would open, right?
Well, McKenna's favorite is after you send the email, you send another one. Go, oops, I forgot to include them in.
Yeah. Yeah, fake mistakes, or make the mistake in the first email and then send another email. They'll open it. I have a whole list of like ones that have worked, and some of them are really funny. It's just like
specific solution to the problem as well, and ways or steps.
Yep, or like ... So this one is, and then this happened ... So you want to know what happened. Yeah, unfinished sentences. Something, if you do newsjacking, if you don't know what newsjacking is, it's what is the big headline article in the news this week? Play off of that and start your subject lines based on that, because people want to follow the biggest news story.
Sorry, Jenna, is that something that you said newsjacking, is that you find one of the biggest articles and then you just use that?
Yeah, so here's another site you can write down, haro.com, H-A-R-O. It is helpareporterout.com, and it's where publishers and journalists go to complete their articles. So you can either be a publisher or a journalist who is looking to complete an article, or you're somebody who wants to provide content in that article. It's completely free to sign up. They send 3 emails out a day. Those emails categorize different articles that these publishers are looking to fill. So if you read each email 3 times a day, just scan through it, and they're looking for some content that you have knowledge about that you can fill. You could be published on Forbes, on New York Times, on Us Weekly, on all these different platforms, and then very easily take that and share that with your audience and build your credibility very quickly. They don't do like background checks or anything about you, so you could pretend that you know something about a topic, or you could do this for your clients too if you want to showcase them or build their credibility. But another way is if you are a blogger, or if you're looking for content to share on social media, you know that the categories and the topics that they're looking to fill are going to be the next article in Forbes, the next article in New York Times. So you know that this is a topic that's going to be released maybe next week. Start talking about it prior to the release, so that, you know, SEO purposes on your blog, on your website, on your social media, you're talking about the top news in the world right now. So you're going to be linked and you're going to get more clicks on your site because of that.
SEO.
Search engine optimization. So somebody is searching a keyword or keyword phrase in Google. If you're talking about the thing that was just released today, there aren't many articles out there with people talking about it, you will be at the top of that list. You want to be on the front page in Google as much as you can, if you can. So we kind of got off email marketing, but that's important because the content that you use for your email marketing is really important to know, you know, if people are going to be interested in it, and you want them to be interested. So this email series is a very direct way to sell. There are different ways that you can create email sequences, nurture email sequences. Yes. A nurture email sequence might be something that you use when it's a cold lead. So you've given a free gift and maybe you spoke in somebody else's group training and you've never met these people before and you offered a free gift to collect their names and their email addresses, you might want to send them through a nurture sequence, welcoming them to you, introducing who you are, introducing what your mission is, what your philosophy is, kind of easing them into your little circle on the internet now, instead of throwing them right into like buy and scaring them away. You don't want them to unsubscribe. You want them to warm up to you, get to know you, like you, and trust you, and then you can hit them with a 3-day payday email sequence like the one I'm providing here. Again, trial and error. If you have an audience that is ready for their transformation, they're ready to buy. If they just bought a $7 something off of a ClickFunnels, they're in buying mode. So they're ready to get that next transformation. If they gave you money already, you might as well throw a 3-day payday at them or try and upsell them into other things immediately, because they're already, their credit card, their wallet is already open. So a lot of this is also analyzing and keeping track of what steps the lead is taking when they come through your email marketing platform. And you can see this in an email marketing service provider. You can see where they go. Like usually everybody opens the first email because it's delivering whatever they opted in for, and then they kind of fall off, and you can play around with your content and the wording in your email in order to filter people through how you want to. And you can add little buttons within your email to say, are you interested about wellness, or are you interested about business? And based on what they click, they get sent down another email automation talking only specifically about wellness or specifically about the business. So I know that's a lot, but it is all, you're exciting them, you're enrolling them, and you're engaging them. That's the process, and it's the same process no matter what platform you're on, or if you're pitching in person, like Forbes teaches us. So every other slide here is just going through the email itself. Does anybody have questions about how they would make this fit with their own offer?
Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do is that we'll work on that because that's specific to you. And so the email is, I'm going to say, as Chuck and I wrote about 6 last night, an ever-evolving process of trial and error.
Yeah.
So we don't all have everything we want to be doing, so I don't want to focus too much on content. But I want to focus on next, if you don't, and I know you may have a second thing you want to talk about. I want to talk about the concept of automation and how, just to be aware, because Bob and I, there's things I don't even do about, so for example, when you leave class, right? I would go, wow, okay, so you need to get a thank you, some photos, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We've never really automated that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hoping to get some clarity on then when you've got something. So Bob, even you meet somebody. What's your series of that? Hey, I just met you, entering you in a database that there's 3 sequences that might even drive somebody, for argument's sake, to get a ClickFunnels book, to come to Forbes. It doesn't matter what they are. I don't care about the content. I care about, well, so how do you do that? How do you make this happen automatically? Yes?
Should I share webinar opt-in and then like a follow-up sequence leading to the webinar?
Sure. Again, I think webinars have been a little bit too far advanced. I just want to thank you for meeting me kind of concept. So when you follow up with somebody opts into whatever, how do you're like the queen of automation. Do you guys have any idea what an active campaign is? Okay. Those tools are just exciting to know. I'm still using a dinosaur, although I got 29% open rate. What's a good open rate for you? For a company, for a business?
I don't know what the statistics are, but 25%.
So I kind of hit about 10, which means I'm doing something wrong. But the trigger, this is where certainly Bob, and Teresa, every time you get a guest on your radio show, AJ, every time you talk to a client, so the content is something we can work on, and it's very individual. And does it take a lot of time to create the content?
Yes and no. I mean, depending on
well, because here you create sequences. I have a couple questions. One, where do you put your sequences? Are they live in the campaign?
Well, I like to template everything. That's just my head. So I put everything on my Google Drive as well, and then I copy and paste it into my sequences.
So who here uses Google Drive like they can drive a car really easily? So that's what you're most successful do. Okay, yeah, most of us don't. I've discovered, so I actually wanted to find the course on how to organize your Google Drive. Because it can get overloaded very quickly. You can share things with you, and also you got a mountain of stuff as soon as you turn this faucet on.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear simple automation to start with.
So let me actually, I'll give you more tools too, because this is all great because you can take this home with you and you can look into it and see how it applies to your own business. Let's just use Eventbrite for an example. Do we all know what Eventbrite is?
Nope.
No? Okay, so if you don't know what Eventbrite it is a ticket selling platform. So you can sell tickets to live events. You could also have it on a landing page. You can assume it's just a landing page where you're opting people in.
So for example, just to drill it down to you, you might want to once a month hold a mixer, an educational free mixer. Hey guys, you know what? I've got so much information about what's coming up. I've done a whole lot of research. Thursday night at 8 o'clock in my space or in a restaurant, I'm going to treat everyone to cocktails so we can talk about this. It's a great group way. But how would you get to all of them? You put an event right up saying, hey, here's what I'm doing. It gives you the date, the time. You can have free tickets. And it's a great way to resource. That's all you want.
And I think what is also powerful is that Eventbrite is also promoting it for you, because if someone will put in a search box, and if you use the right words for your event, which will be applied to your niche, it will be in a search box. And also you can create a Facebook event for that, so you can use different platforms to gather people together. But Eventbrite, I didn't realize that, and I was just using it for tickets. But it's actually quite powerful.
Yeah, so think about Eventbrite as a ticket platform where people can pay you money to receive a ticket so they can show up to your event. Same thing with the landing page. They're putting in their name, their email, so that they can receive more information from you. Now, nowadays, if you do that and they don't actually receive more information from you, then they don't know who you are, they don't know anything about you, they're kind of lost, and then you throw a 3-day payday like we just went over at them randomly, and they're like, whoa, like, where have you been for the past year? I haven't heard from you. So with Eventbrite, for example, it's a platform that automatically sends the ticket purchaser an email saying you just purchased a ticket. So that's great, because now I know the money that I just put in actually went somewhere and they're saying I got a ticket. However, in your business, you can set up an integration tool so that the system knows that somebody just purchased a ticket and they purchased under this name and they purchased with this email address. It sends a little like trigger to your email marketing system saying, hey, this person bought a ticket to this event, so send them into the email automation now that welcomes them to this event and gives them all the details to this event. That way you're not doing that yourself. And that system integration tool is called Zapier. Z-A-P-I-E-R. Z-A-P-I-E-R. And it's just this little like cloud up in the sky that says like someone bought a ticket and like goes and tells you, like, I don't know, like someone, yeah, tell your email marketing provider. Another example, do you use questionnaires or forms? Type form, for example. Google Forms, any kind of form. What do you do when somebody fills out a form? You need that information for something, right? Zapier will also, if you need specific answers or somebody needs to say yes to this question in order to receive a call booking link, if they say no to this question, you don't want to work with them, so they get into an email automation that says, I'm sorry, this is not a good product for you, but here's another option. So this is all happening in the clouds. Like, I don't know how it happens. It just does it for you. And that way you're not getting on the phone with people who are not your qualified clients. You're only getting on the phone with people who answer that question, yes, who say they're ready to invest a minimum of $9.97 today. And they said yes. And that's why they're getting your scheduling link. If they say no, they're getting an email that says this is not a good offer for you. This is not a good product for you, but try my spin gem. You know, like here's a $40 product that I think that you could use over and over and over again, get really comfortable with it. And then you can have the automations linking so that a month from now, they can try that same questionnaire again, and if they answer the question right this time, now they're getting the link to schedule a call with you. So you're really qualifying the people you're getting on the phone with to make sure you're not wasting your time or their time, and making sure they're getting the service and exactly what they need at that time. So Zapier will do that with many different platforms. Pretty much all email marketing systems, doesn't matter which one you have. It will say you use a PayPal. I have it linked to my PayPal. So somebody pays me through PayPal, they're automatically on my email, and they automatically go through a series of emails because they paid with PayPal. Stripe, same thing. That's basic. There's also a project management system called Trello, Trello. Asana is a similar system, Asana, similar to Trello. Zapier, email marketing, all of these tech integration systems will also create projects for you. You tell the system to create, maybe you're onboarding a new client and you need to welcome them. They need to answer a few questions. They have a form to fill out. They have a training they need to go through. As soon as a contract is sent, they sign the contract, the system triggers an invoice. When the invoice is paid, the system triggers an onboarding process, and their answers just get put onto this project management system. So now you have either a repository if you want to use the project management system to help you schedule podcast interviews, schedule radio show hosts, or you have a step-by-step process that you take a client through in order to get them to the end of their program, and they can follow along with it. So all these different platforms that you can use to just systematize as much as you can in your business, but automate so that you're not giving so much of your time and not getting anything in return. You're giving up your time all the time, and you're not able to go and do other money-making things because your time is spent doing these back-end admin tasks that the cloud can do for you.
Cool. All right, I would like to open that. So still, while I hear all those tools, can we just help me understand something?
Yeah.
So can we turn that TV on or no?
I have no idea how to.
Okay, so ActiveCampaign is your automation of choice? Because here's what
My team also works with Infusionsoft, but I don't understand Infusionsoft.
So I want to create I'm going to take your emails. I want to just do a thank you email. It's really, each email, my daughter's all about one-line emails, by the way. Hey, thanks for showing up. 1, just touch base. It could be 1. 2, I want to tell you about a really fun video you should watch. 3, something else you could offer. Okay, let's just do those 3. I said, hey, I want to do this. How do I automate it? Sorry, I know this is really basic, but it's my biggest thing in life.
I'm going to show you. Nowadays, it's like drag and drop templates. They make it really, really easy to you.
Well, I also think I want to see also.
Can I pull it up?
Yeah, that's
or I can share.
Here. We need to figure out how to. Where's the button? Where's the?
Let me find a good one.
Or just another one if you don't mind.
Oh, I
Can
have.
I share something with you?
72.
You need to Bob, and I'm going to address this to you to start with. You okay?
You said I need the Bob. Sorry.
Okay, you win a tell me covered strawberry. And a free trip to the Looney Bin. I'm sorry, I didn't even look so.
That was a good interview, Brittany.
Always, we should break in. After she's finished, we always should understand the systems, I think.
Yep.
Get an overview, take out the I'm too old to figure this shit out or it's all too overwhelming, which I could hear in the back of your head. It's irrelevant. It is not overwhelming, it's just a system. And what you want to do is you want to go, oh, because I understood the system, I just haven't implemented it. Why? 2 reasons. 1, I haven't thought to hire someone to do it. It's called delegation. I have a whole course called Delegate or Die. If you're cleaning your toilets, you're not successful. You clean your own bathroom? Do you? Shame on you. Because how much? No, because how much do you make an hour when you work right now? 28. Somebody clean your toilet is $10 an hour. Could you work 2 more hours? That person could come 1 or 2 times a week, and you never do that task again. Delegate or die. What can you do that you're spending your time on? Well, creating the emails, I think, is either with you or somebody who works your team. It has to be you, the content. But you know what? You have me to help you do that. So I can, and by the way, we can talk it into a text recorder, and bingo, you've got it. You tweak it a little bit with your assistant. She doesn't write it because she's not at that level of understanding what it is. Great, done. That's really cool. Do you need to know how to automate it? Fuck no. You go look. There's this system called Active Campaign. Either you learn it or I hire somebody who's a specialist in this. Here's the information, make it happen. All you didn't even know this existed, right?
No.
Right, so now that you do, same with ClickFunnels. Don't, honestly, why the fuck are you going to funnel hacking? There's no value. You'll meet a lot of people, you'll hear a lot of stuff. Go have a great time. But I'm gonna tell you, if you told me, if you said Forbes, I'm debating about going, can you give me the pros and cons of why I should? I'd say, well, you've never been in this world, you have no idea what it is, enjoy it. Russell's brilliant, he's got some good speakers, but mostly people are gonna walk across that stage making you feel like shit because they're 22 years old and they're making $1 million on a launch.
I'd like to be 22 again.
But like I'm saying, no, I'm not kidding, that makes you feel kind of like, oh my God. Or you can hire somebody who's an expert in not just ClickFunnels. Do not hire a web designer ever. It's a web marketeer. If that person doesn't understand marketing, then you had better hand them exactly what you're doing in a Photoshop. Because someone can make really pretty pictures that they don't sell because their head's not there. Do you imagine there's a lot of people out there who can do both? That's been a lot of my issues. So, or you can hire the marketing director who builds all that on paper, give it to the guy to design, and then you're done. So it comes about investment, but you have to know what you're doing. And then, if you don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jenna, at the end of all that, you have the person analyze the results. Most of us don't. You go, well, and she's really good at that. Her team is good at that. That's why we're partnering a lot. Yeah. Again, you're not at that stage yet. You need 90 days of this program, of really working it, to drill down what your question is, what your objective is, blah, blah, blah. 90 days are gonna pass whether you do the work or not. And then you go, hey, you know what? I'm finally ready. I've got this idea. You guys can go with it. But until you're clear, you guys will invest money all over the place. It's not a shiny object system. There's really an order to things. And it's easy when it gets done. And you go, wow, how did that work? Her Infusionsoft. I'm never
Complicated as heck.
Yeah, I've never even looked at it.
Here's the thing, it's not. Here's Infusionsoft, okay? Bob, if you meet a client, if you meet a prospect and he says yes, they go that way. If you meet a prospect, he says no, they go that way. If you write that email that says, hey, I see that you didn't do that, but I've got a course you might be interested in, go here. Oh, they went there? All it is a puzzle. You sit with somebody, you draw the puzzle out of what you want to put it in the system. You don't have to do it. Is it complicated? Yeah, but you're doing it anyway, you don't realize it. If somebody says, hey, I love you, well, we put them into the system where they get a thank you email, an informational, they get attached to my blog. All you're now doing that is giving to someone to build the system. You should never touch Infusionsoft. It's like trying to drive a tractor trailer. I just want my car to go from New York to LA. Do you care what the tractor trailer looks like? No, that's all that is. And I'm going to tell you, the part of as a business coach at this level is I'm a voice of sanity. You tell me what your sentence is, where's the cash today, I'm going to tweak it around to enroll one person. You immediately will make $4,000 in the course of this week that you weren't making before because you're just your coffee. So I want you to just listen to Jen and go, wow, there's a lot of resources out there. Do you care if you're going to get Active Campaign or you're going to get Zapier? Who cares? You're going to talk to one of us and go, Bob, that's the system you're going to use. This is how much it costs. Is that in your budget? Great. So there's ways that you're not thinking about. Don't let this overwhelm you because it will. All right, I don't have to know how to fly an airplane to get to LA tomorrow. I just don't. I trust that the guy does it, but I understand I have to book the ticket, pay for it, I have to pack my bags. No, actually I don't even pack my bags anymore. I hired somebody to do that. I figured out what my clothes need to be, somebody packs my bags, makes it look really nice, I pick up the baggage and I go. I just saved an hour of my time. Hers is 28 an hour, mine's $1,000 an hour. I have been wasting hours doing stupid shit. And when you come to that realization, how does Oprah and Richard Branson get to do it? Delegate or die. What I just want to hear is there's things in the system that I don't even know how to ask for. So I've never had anybody kind of explain it. She's really good at this. So let me.
Thank you, Forbes.
Well,
so-
Really good.
That's Apple, right?
Yeah.
So we have a thing called Apple Mirroring TV. Let me touch it and just see if it turns on. using here in South? Which one did you say you did use?
Active Campaign, and that's the one you're gonna see here. Yeah,
Okay.
activecampaign.com.
It's drag and drop, right?
It's drag and drop and everything.
Okay, I'll play around until that point. Can we all just kind of, can you turn your screen this way?
Oh, you can't see it?
Oh, you
I have it
oh,
shared.
oh, so sorry, okay.
Yeah, I have it shared. One thing Forbes mentioned that is actually important when you're deciding what email marketing provider to use, whoever you go to, make sure they do ask you who's your website provider, where do you collect, like what are your payment gateways, is it PayPal, like what other systems are you using, because it is important that they all interact with each other. Active Campaign, I use it because it interacts with a lot of things. Zapier, I use it because there hasn't been anything that I have found that it does not interact with, but some of them don't interact with each other. Like MailChimp wouldn't interact with Zapier, or it might, but there are other things that it might not interact with. So depending on what you do.
What you need to do is, we're a resource funnel.
Mhm.
And so I spend a lot of time going, do this one, do that. You kind of go through it, ask a couple of questions and get it signed. One of the things that changed your life, when you just shared this a little bit, was getting an OBM.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know what OBM stood for. Does anybody? Online Business Manager. Basically angel that drops from the heavens. I knew I wanted to create a digital marketing agency, but I didn't know, and I knew I needed a virtual assistant, but I didn't know what they needed to do for me, right? And that's stupid. Don't hire an assistant if you don't know what you need the assistant for. So instead of hiring virtual assistants, I hired an online business manager who did the hiring process for me and just asked me, what are your goals? You know, what are you looking to do? At the time I was launching a mastermind, and she told me, well, to launch a mastermind, you will need a tech VA, a social media management VA, a graphic designer. Like, she just listed that out. And then she told me the key roles and responsibilities that I should look for in each of those VAs. So in my mind, I was like, you're a VA? Yeah, you're hired, you know, but it's actually important to say, you're a VA. Well, what kind of VA are you? Are you a tech VA? What is your zone of genius? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years from now? And if it's not what I'm hiring you to do right now, I'm not hiring you, because it actually, you're losing money when you have to fire and rehire all the time. So you want to make sure your hire is somebody who likes what they're doing. They're not just there to see how you run your business and then run away and create a business just like that. You're going through the necessary process in order to hire effectively and efficiently before you just hire because somebody on the internet told you you needed a VA, right? So an online business manager was my first hire, who then did the whole onboarding process for me, and she managed all my virtual assistants. So I'm not even involved in that process.
How do you find a good one? An online business manager?
She just fell into my lap.
Okay, and that's okay if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, so I have key roles.
So one, you just know you need it.
Good.
And
Where did you go?
I got that.
Yeah.
I went to a Facebook group and she found me. So first of all, if you know what you need and you tell them the systems you're currently using, tell them the goal that you have, and go put that out on social media. People will come to you. People will send you Facebook messages. If they can't provide a portfolio of what it is you're looking for, if they can't, you know, you'll just get people saying me, 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 me. And this person sent me a book in an email. She researched my business. She knew what my mission was. She knew exactly how she could get me to my end goal. And she told me all of that, and then sent me to like resources where I can look into her. And I just instantly clicked, and I was like, wow, like all the information she went through. I went to a large, the group that I went to was Boss Moms. It had 30,000 people in it. And I just said, hey, I'm looking for
But you can
this.
just post it on your Facebook page and just, you know, if you have friends, ask them to tag someone.
Mm-hmm.
But what is really also good is when you write down exactly what you need that person to do, because
Yes.
very often you list actually all the list, and it's like, if you're not specific enough, it's going to be too ambiguous.
No, let me tell you something. In this particular case, that doesn't work because you don't even know what an OBM is. List the problems that you're dealing with. I run a company, I have no automation, I don't understand VAs, blah, 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 blah. In this case, you don't know what you don't know. Can somebody step in who's done this before? Here's my business, here's what I'm up to, can you help me?
And they know who they are, so if you list your needs and they can check everything off, they'll come
Yeah,
to you.
So my point was to don't be too ambiguous, but also if you're too specific, you realize that the person you're looking for is actually 2 or 3 people, because sometimes one person will not have everything, but it's a starting point. At least you're going to be able to delegate.
Yeah, and I would also recommend asking for referrals too. This network is just huge. Has anybody had a good experience with this person? If so, can you refer me? At this point, we don't onboard anybody who isn't a referral because
You don't know them.
we haven't had to, we've had really good experience with
So
referrals.
when you hired your first person, was it a virtual assistant or was it someone who you knew?
I did not know her. She's from Poland, actually.
Okay.
She reached out. I put something out saying, this is what I need. This is my mission. This is my goal. And she sent me an email, and everybody else sent me a message saying, some people didn't even say anything. She sent me a link to, here's how you pay.
Go back.
Yeah.
We lose your word.
Okay. So this is an email automation. This is ActiveCampaign. This is one of, I think I have 72.
You have 72.
Yes.
So, and they're all labeled in here and easy to find?
Yep.
How do you
They're all
do it?
linked. So you name it. So at the very top here, if you can see my cursor, you can name your automation. You can set a trigger to start the automation. That's important. So the trigger you're seeing, I hope you can all see it,
Yes, yes.
is called, and I have very specific ways to name things so that I can find them quickly, but
does
somebody
that mean?
purchased.
Hang on a second. What does that mean very specific?
So somebody purchased something from PayPal in this particular instance. I told PayPal, when this purchase is made, add tag purchased Profit Booster Bootcamp bump sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now PayPal purchased, Zapier realized this tag was added to the PayPal. So Zapier talked with ActiveCampaign, which triggered this automation, because the automation says, when the tag purchase Profit Booster Bootcamp bump sale is added, trigger this automation.
Right.
You with me?
Yeah.
So I told PayPal, if someone buys something, add this tag. I told ActiveCampaign, if somebody has this tag, enter them into this email automation. So that's the trigger. You can trigger, you can add a new trigger and look at your options. Subscribes to a list, unsubscribes from a list. You can try and bring people back after they've unsubscribed. There's a ton of different, they share an email, they visit a web page. You can add tags manually. So there are different ways that you can trigger. That was just one example. Now, as soon as they receive the trigger within the ActiveCampaign system, I'm telling them, send them this welcome email.
And where is that, where that welcome email is living?
It's living in ActiveCampaign, and you can create it as a template. So I could go down and choose different options if I want, or I can edit, and let's open the welcome email. Again, drag and drop. So I can, this is an old one, I can drag and add a button here. I can drag and add a video here. You can insert your YouTube video URL and it will pop up right in the email. You can add audio. So I actually extracted the audio from the radio show interview, the little segment that I had with Forbes yesterday. It is now on my website. I can put that in here. You can extract audio, import audio.
So when you do that and sends it out as an email, does it, and you click that link, does it take them online to elicit? So is it just a direct?
If I put them as a button, it will.
Play inside the email.
Yeah, it'll play inside the email too. Yeah,
So to extract the audio, just out of curiosity.
I sent it to my team.
You did what?
I sent it to my team. I don't know how they
Oh,
did it.
got it. Okay. And he did that.
Add this active campaign. With what team?
My team, because I'm actually the face of all of this. This is not what I do on a day-to-day basis. I just know what they're doing. So I sent it to Sandra. She does my text, so she extracted the audio. Sandra's not on call. We could unmute her.
So I guess another just little business aside is that you run videos. Oh, I like that. And it's still on your phone. To give you questions, that would be very helpful. There's a lot of resources.
And again, this is a learning experience for me because I haven't taught any of this in a while.
Well, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And when we make this a course,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's my next goal with you, because I know all the questions and I can just keep asking. One of the things for a lot of people who are successful, they forget the basics. And that makes an amazing course. We did this last time with our guy from Vancouver. He started talking about all this Facebook advertising. All this Facebook advertising. I said, dude, you don't understand. I got people here who don't understand how to make a post.
Mm-hmm.
And an effective post, a sales post, all the things that we take for granted at a certain level. For mom and pops and for entrepreneurs who are starting, isn't this wild, Michael? Did you know this existed?
This is amazing.
It's amazing, right? So that's part of where basic business, especially if you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. A question for you.
I also wanted to just show you the rest of it. I mean, this is a very simple, like you could have tree branches going off for years, and some of my automations
They
do,
also
but
have this. Okay, they also have this in Get Response.
Plugging in the wait time.
Get Response also has it, yeah. So this particular client has purchased a course from me, and they received a welcome email immediately after purchasing the course. And that welcome email gave them a link to access the course. So it also delivered the course to them, right? So they're now taking the course on another platform. How many times have you purchased a course and never completed the course? I used to do that, so I don't buy courses because I know myself and I need that one-on-one attention. So in order to get them to complete the course or remind them that they bought a course, in a week, you can just press the little add button and you can add a condition to wait for a certain period of time. One example of all the conditions that you can add. And I'm telling it, wait 1 week, and then I want to send them a weekly progress reminder. So in 1 week, they receive this email from me. This is a friendly reminder that you have access to the Profit Booster Bootcamp course posted on the Teachable platform. Please click here and log in if you haven't in a while. So I'm, again, giving them access to it. On some automations, I'll even say, add this to the bookmarks page in your computer, and then you can easily access it because we forget all the time how to even access something we purchased. If you want to discuss your progress, click here to schedule a breakthrough business consult with me. If you prefer to join the mastermind, click here to learn more. And I always tell my people, like, you can always hit reply and ask me a question. You want them to engage with you on email because that allows more of your emails to enter their inbox. You want that engagement.
So we use
Gmail. So Google Suite, yeah. And that's where they come through from ActiveCampaign.
Google Suite is not just Gmail.
G Suite G Suite is Gmail, Dropbox, everything. It's
Gmail on steroids.
okay. Yes, Gmail on steroids. There's a lot of different things in the G Suite I learned.
And how do you access that?
Access what?
G Suite.
You don't use paper. We have it at some point.
So then I did this, for this example, I have a progress reminder going every week throughout the length of the course, just to remind them that they have the course. And at the end.
Can you see one or two more of your emails? Because actually, the first one.
Yeah, so, yep.
It's very similar, but after the first one, what did you send to the second one? When you sent that one, they said, hey, all the things asked me. And then the next week, you said what?
It's the same thing. I'm giving them the same exact weekly progress reminder. So they go through the course, and here, so the last email, I'm giving them the option to upsell into something else, right? So this email actually says, would you be interested in receiving a free copy of my marketing package for effective solutions to automate your online business? Just click below and it's all yours. So when they click, I can tell the system to add a tag that indicates that this person clicked or this person did not click, right? So when you go back out and look at the big picture, the next trigger says, does the contact match the following conditions? Does the contact have the tag opted in free business marketing package? Yes or no? If they do, I'm ending this automation because that tag actually triggers another automation that delivers this content and takes them through a whole nother slew of emails. If they don't have that tag, I'm sending them into a sales campaign for something else. So this is telling the system, no, they did not opt into the business marketing package. Okay, they're not interested in my business marketing package, but that doesn't mean they don't want to join my mastermind. So I'm sending them into my mastermind sales campaign. So it says enter automation, mastermind sales campaign. Now on the back end, I have to go back to automations and find that automation. And there's a search, just like Google, mastermind. They don't see any of this. They just automatically get the next email that I have triggered. But here's the mastermind sales campaign. So now they are inside the mastermind sales campaign. So now I send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, look, do you guys recognize this subject line? And then this happened. This is my 3-day payday. I added it to the end of this sales campaign to really force them to buy into the mastermind. So I'm warming them up. I give them a little bit of information about the mastermind in the first email. And we'll just open it and look at it. Should you join the mastermind, this is for you if you struggle with. I list their pain points and their frustrations. Tell them a little bit about what it is. This is something they have to apply for. So again, this button is a link to apply, which, I mean, this, you can get lost in these automations. You open up their type form that they have to fill out to apply, and depending on how they answer the type form, determines where they go in the next step of my process.
When you do this, you draw it out first, or do you just kind of go through it?
I just kind of go through it because I get it. You can draw it out. I've drawn it out for clients. I've created, you know, when I do a webinar and I kind of explain it, like they do at what's it called in Nashville that you're going to? Funnel hacking. At funnel hacking, they have to do the basics. You can't get into all of this. This is so deep and it can get to be so overwhelming for people to hear. So at funnel hacking, they're probably going to do the simple like opt-in page. You click a button, you receive the landing page that talks about the sales, whatever you're selling. You click a button, you pay. That's what they're going to teach you, the very basic 1, 2, 3 funnel, because you can't dive into all of this because it does get very deep. And your funnel is just enormous.
It's this detail that we have avoided for the last 2 years.
This is what we need.
Because every time I start doing this, here's where my head goes. That board, all around the room and back again. Well, if I don't want to do this, they have to do this. I want to do it. You cannot do this on your own. You just can't.
Sandra said if anybody wants to know how to extract the audio of the interview, I can make a recording on that and send it to everyone.
Tell her yes.
Yes.
That is lovely.
So
What is your mastermind focus on?
this one,
Just out of curiosity, when you do mastermind, you talk about an online mastermind, a real in-person? Just because it's a.
I've done online masterminds in the past. Mine is a hybrid group. It's a group coaching and mastermind hybrid structure. So for my masterminds, I'm really big on strategy, but a huge pain point of mine in the past was nobody implementing the strategy that I taught them. So because, I mean, that was why I created my agency, so that you're getting strategy, but you're also getting implementation. So I combine. Yep, I do too in 10 minutes. Yes. Reminding myself. My client is a call.
You can take that with you. It's just an.
Oh, okay, thank you. So my masterminds have been Zoom calls, like we're on right now. You know, once a month usually. The big one that I do is 6 months in length because they get the implementation piece from my agency, and it takes a lot of time and back and forth to create these landing pages and these funnels for our clients. I've never done a mastermind that was just, hop on a Zoom call once a week and talk about your week and then hop off. But I know there's like accountability and support type masterminds out there as well. I'm just really focused on, if you're going to work with me, I want you to have like an outcome. I don't want to just talk about, like Forbes is breaking us down and building us back up, but we're also earning money and we're learning a lot of good lessons out of that. And I like that outcome.
What do you charge for your masterminds?
First one was $3,500 or $7,500, depending on if you got agency services with it. Now my packages are, you can work with me quarterly for $15K or a year long is $50K.
Notice how she kind of increased?
Yeah.
Getting one client was really powerful for her.
And what's interesting is I had a big hiccup with charging initially. And it wasn't until I increased my prices that people started actually buying into my products and services, because I started valuing myself and they saw that value. And a lot of people, if you're not valuing yourself, they won't work with you because they don't think that you're worth it because your prices are so low.
Which is an interesting issue that I had when I started doing massage therapy, which was I got out of massage therapy school, but how good could I be? Because I just got out, so I was charging $35 an hour, which I thought was pretty good back then. And my girlfriend called and said, really good, why are you so low? I said, because that's all I'm worth. I didn't say that, but she said, well, that's too bad because my member goes won't use you unless you charge $135 an hour, because they don't think you're that good. Big lesson to learn.
Yeah.
You just don't cut off your head just like your nose and go too fast.
And really, really quick, because I have a client call in 8 minutes, but you go through the sales campaign for the mastermind, which is another series of emails. And at the very end of that, does the contact match the following conditions? They've opted in or they haven't. Yes or no. Yes, and this automation. No, I'm sending them into a nurture sequence. So now they didn't opt in the first time. They didn't opt in the second time. So I don't even know if I want them on I don't know if I want to pay for them, because you have to pay for your subscribers. So sometimes I just immediately tell the system to unsubscribe them. If they're interested, they'll come back in through another opt-in. But here I'm giving them another option. I'm sending them through a nurture sequence, which is just talking about me and my mission and my philosophy. Maybe they don't know who I am. They're cold lead.
Because that's something that you could all actually just do. Some sort of nurture campaign.
I can give you a template for all of this.
Can I ask something, because I don't know if anyone or everyone understands it, but when you're saying a tag, what's a tag?
How can I
Is
relate
it just a word? Is it just?
A little label, a little tiny label that says your yes and your no. And your
It's just how the system knows who you are.
It's
Right,
a little tiny
but
label.
no, I understand that, but if it, they're not all, it doesn't matter what the label is as long as it's congruent with everything.
The label only
Okay,
matters
got it.
to you and to the system. Nobody knows what their tag is.
Got it. Okay.
So
I could bought new customer.
yeah, like F
Okay.
you, like leave my system.
Okay.
I'm not,
Do you want to go to dinner with me on a date or not?
swipe right or left. Like whatever you need to use.
Right. Okay. Just has to be congruent with everything that you're referring to for that one
So
thing.
let's look at what a concept of nurture is, because this is what you guys can do immediately. Go, hey, you know what? I'm just reaching out. I want to see what she actually says.
Me too, because this is like old. What
Now,
did I
let's
say?
go back to the top. So what are we all about? We care about you. So you might want, this is great for Bob just to start with. Even as an email, well, hey, I just want to reach out to my customers. You know, I just took this really creative business course with this $2.5 billion whatever. Here's some strategies. That's just a good conversation. When you touch people, remember to reach out to your database when you don't need them, so they're there when you do.
Yeah. So in this one, I told them what my mission is. I told them about my company. At the time, we had 13 employees, and I listed who they are because for my audience, they might not know what a digital marketing agency is, but they might know what a video editor is or a copywriter. Our company provides high-level business strategy, telling them what I do, and then also giving them something so they can get to know me. I wrote a chapter in a book collaboration about my journey.
Good way that that's part of what, hey, I'm about to write a chapter. I'm writing a chapter. Here is the chapter.
Yep. So I give them my chapter. So it's a chapter about my journey becoming a six-figure entrepreneur. You can check that out here. So then that links them to the chapter download, which also triggers another email sequence. And it's just chaos in the back-end systems, but it's not when you structure it on the front end in a way that you're not involved in all the back end systems once it's in place. It's doing it for you. So it's important to set these triggers and set these tags up and take your lead through their own journey, because if everybody went through the same journey, they'd be receiving information they're not interested in. If nobody got to this page, but they randomly got my chapter in my book, but they didn't ask for it or don't want it, then they're not going to really know me, like me, or trust me anymore, because I'm just throwing things at them that they didn't ask for. So it's important that they take these clicks along the journey so that they get the content that they're looking for. And a lot of us are multi-passionate, and you know, I might have a fitness program that I'm also doing business consulting. Well, I'm not giving my business consulting leads my fitness programs unless they ask for it.
Yeah, I love the Donna's appeal, yes. I don't want to keep you late for your call. Do we get you back and come back?
I will come back. It's an hour call.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to lunch. When we come back
Yes.
though, maybe you wanna hear, what calendar system do you use?
Acuity scheduling.
Okay, so Acuity is really good. I think what is appointment for? Okay, I've got people who like both. It doesn't much matter. I don't care about the actual system. I care about how you most effectively use it. We got two awesome schedulers here, and we don't do well enough. I know that. So to that end, I'm gonna have you guys run over to Zorro's if you want. Chuck and me, I can't walk.